Tell me when.
Hey everybody, it's Linda and Mel. Also,
Hey,
a lot of people wrote me Mel and said, "Hey, I'm so happy you're having Mel on." They like Sterling and
aw,
Mel.
thank you. I always love doing the show with you, Linda.
Thank you. Well,
And
you're a great person. How many subscribers do you now have on your show?
I think over 6,000.
Not bad for a guy. Did you start it last month or 2 months ago?
I started it in August. When I talked to you, you encouraged me to do it. So I did, and here we are. Thanks to you. Thanks to you.
Months ago,
I,
2 months ago. Wow. So yeah, so you're doing good. Did
I
you
try to
monetize?
post.
Did you monetize it?
No, I got to figure out how to do that. Maybe one of these days I can talk to you and tell me how to
Or
do it.
talk to my son. He knows how. I went a long time with never monetizing. I didn't know you could monetize. But after you're 1,000, you can monetize it.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I'll talk to your son.
Talk
Um,
to my son.
no, I get the best feedback about you. I always say that, and
Thank you.
I just got to do a lead in on mine. But anyway, every time I go on, people are always Linda Grendel, and they love you and Sterling. They like to see you and me together, and so
It's so much fun.
thank you. Yeah, we have a good time with it.
Yeah. And you're a good psychic too, by the way.
Thank you. Well,
So listen,
as a
speaking of psychic.
yes, psycho.
So you were right. You said Amy Coney Barrett would get on.
Yep.
I didn't say that. Now let me tell you what I did say. Her cards were so bad, I thought it was very possible she wouldn't get on. Her cards were horrible.
Well,
Unlike Kavanaugh, I saw Kavanaugh get on. I told everybody, they begged me, please don't say that's real. I said, I see him getting on, but don't worry, I see them removing him.
I think maybe what you were seeing, and you know, I don't do cards, but I can, so I kind
Yeah.
of pulled them. You're right, her cards looked horrible. I did the gypsy
Horrible.
cards.
I did it again last night. She had the tower.
They were horrible. But you know what I think it is? For some reason, I'm trying to see her being on the court for a long time, and I cannot.
Me neither. Me neither.
So, you know, sometimes as psychics, we see the outcomes as opposed to the process. And so I think that's what we were hooked into.
She may prove to be so outrageous. They say, oh, enough. We got to get rid of her.
Well, the thing that they came out with after she was confirmed was that there was a school, I guess, and she said that if there were gay parents, you know, and kids of the gay parents, or if the kids were gay, they couldn't come to that school.
Yeah.
So,
That's not
and a
cool.
lot of people, yeah, a lot of people are asking me about Obergefell, you know, the gay marriage thing, and about the whole thing about, you know, Roe v. Wade. But I had predicted, I told my husband about 4 years ago, I said, you watch, Donald Trump is going to try to put all these conservative justices on the court. And so he's going to, what they're going to do is take stuff like Roe v. Wade to the states, and then they'll take it to the Supreme Court to think they can overturn it. I said the same with gay marriage, and here we are.
Yeah.
But, you know, Linda, the joke's on them, because I still see more justices on the court. And so, you know, the Trumpsters can't say anything about that,
No,
because they're the one that changed the rules. So
they changed the rules. They changed the rules. I see two
that's right.
justices leaving too. So
I
one
do too,
is
as well.
Kavanaugh for sure.
Kavanaugh will be off, yes.
What are you thinking
And the
about
other one,
Thomas?
I don't see him on the court. So, you know, I don't know if it's resignation, but I really think his health is
That's
really
what
going
I
to be.
was picking up. That's what I was picking up.
And
And
when
Roberts
I
won't
hook
be
it,
there much longer either.
but when I hook into him, I see like a coffin and a hand going like this. And you know that smell when you go into a funeral home?
Yeah.
Whenever I get those, it usually means death within a year to a year and a half.
Oh, is it
So
from Thomas?
yes.
Yeah, because I've been predicting for several years that, we can't say when someone's going to leave. It could be so bad
No,
he nearly dies, but he's definitely going because of his health.
absolutely. You know, and people are calling me worrying about well, the Supreme Court, it was just, I think, 6-3, they passed a law in Wisconsin, they upheld some kind of thing in Wisconsin with the Trumpsters. Like, if, I think, if the ballot isn't in by a certain time, even if it's
Right.
postmarked for the election,
It
they don't
doesn't,
have to count them. That's terrible. That's horrible.
I know.
So I
And
voted in
Roberts
person.
voted on that too. That was a
Right.
stupid move on Robert's part.
Crazy move. Wait, see, I voted.
Yay.
I
And
told you
tell the
before.
story what you told me, how you can't be cheating. Tell everybody what you told me.
Well, what happened was, here in Illinois, we live in a suburb of Chicago, and my partner and I got mail-in ballots. And so I made a mistake on one of the votes. And so I marked through it. And my partner said, if you do that, that's going to cancel out your whole vote. So I'm like, okay. So I just ripped up the ballot, threw it out. And when I went to vote yesterday, um, I said, I had a mail-in ballot. And they said, did you bring it to surrender it? And I said, no. And they said, well, you can vote provisionally, which means they went in the system and they cancel out the ballot, the mail-in ballot. And then they put my name to vote provisionally, which meant I got to vote. And then they take it in to where they count the votes to the Secretary of State. So all I'm saying is, with everything I had to go through, there is absolutely no way that there's any kind of voter fraud going on. It would be impossible, at least here in
Right.
Illinois. So
Right.
when we hear about all that BS, it's exactly that BS about, mail-in ballots and this and that, because they're really strict about it. I mean, the computer
Right.
knew right away.
Yeah, well,
So
yeah,
what I'm telling everybody is, go vote.
yeah.
I think I made a joke on your channel that I would run naked through an Ebola ward to vote. Well, and you said take a picture of it. Well, this is as close as it came.
So listen, I'm still feeling a pretty good landslide for Biden.
I was just nervous about them, trying to mess around with the Electoral College.
Right.
In the red states, to say
I see him
put
winning.
the
I don't care what they mess with.
I'm sorry.
I see him winning. I don't care what they mess with.
Me too. He's
They
taken
can
a
do what
lead.
they want, but he's going to win.
You had predicted he would win Florida, and he's taken the lead in Florida, and now they're looking at Texas and all of that.
Georgia.
And Georgia.
I don't know. I don't think I predicted Georgia.
No,
But
you said Florida.
Right, but now they're saying Georgia on the news this morning.
Oh, I didn't hear it this morning.
Yeah,
but
this morning they're saying Georgia. But here's the deal: Biden is doing 50%. Trump is not doing 50% in all these states.
Well, I heard Moscow Mitch, and I can do his Kentucky accent because I'm from Kentucky. He said, well, we have to put this nominee on the Supreme Court because everything we've done is going to be undone, but this will be done for a long time once we put her on the court.
No, it won't be.
And I thought, yeah, because he ain't going to be the majority leader anymore.
I read and I read, and sometimes it's not good to read too much.
Oh,
but
no.
I saw Mitch McConnell still winning Kentucky.
He will win Kentucky, but he's going to have his Waterloo because he's still going to be under investigation.
And his wife.
I'm sorry, and his wife.
And his wife.
So, I tend to think, though, that Kentucky has a Democratic governor, believe it or not. Wow. And I think at some point, he'll win Kentucky, but I don't see him serving out his full term.
Yeah, he's not well. And I think his wife's going to go down and he'll just step away.
Exactly. But I think the poetic justice and the karma of it is to see a dictator kind of take their fall. And that's exactly what's going to happen to Mitch.
Now, can I ask you now, what do you see when Trump loses? Do you see a lot of drama between November 4th and January 20th? Now, mind you, The Senate gets put in January 5th.
Right.
So do you see drama between that and January? Because when January 5th comes, that Senate will be taken out.
I don't know if I can swear on YouTube, but I want to tell you something. It's going to be a real shit show. Pardon my language. Did I just say that?
It's going to create a lot of drama.
Totally a lot of drama. He's going to contest the election. He's going to try anything he can do. He's going to try to put last minute stuff in. Boy, if we think we've seen a lot of high drama now, wait. I agree with you.
Go ahead.
I think the Secret Service is going to come and tell him, sir, you have to leave.
That's what I saw. And I saw McConnell telling him, sir, it's over.
Exactly.
Because I think the stuff he thinks he's going to put, because I even saw that Amy gal not voting in his direction, which is interesting.
See, that's the other thing. A lot of people think that just because these justices might be conservative or whatever, that they're going to vote that way. But I talked about this on your show before. There was a thing that came with gay rights, and it was like 6-3 for the gay right. So you can never really figure it out with these justices.
Well, if Amy actually looks at the Constitution, there's some things he's going to say that are not true and not connected to the Constitution.
I did something and I started reading the Constitution. I read the Bill of Rights. I about, halfway through it. It's not that long. And I would suggest that, a lot of these politicians read it, which they probably have not done.
Right.
So,
well, even Roberts is the constitutionalist, so Roberts won't be able to go with what Trump is saying. I don't even see Kavanaugh going. They know what side their bread is buttered in. Let's say Biden is winning by a landslide and he makes up this crap. He's going to go back and try to act out, even though he couldn't make the numbers if he tried. They may just say whatever, or we won't hear it. That's what I'm getting. He's going to be furious at them. He's going to be furious at all the people that love him because he's thinking they didn't do enough. And he's going to be furious at his staff, and he's going to be furious because remember, like Rachel Maddow said last night, all these justices always got sworn in the court. There was never any big affair. Now, every single justice that's come in under Trump, it's always got to be at the White House, some big affair with his fat face in the picture. He's always got to be standing there when they're taking the oath.
The Cheeto head. Looks like he's got a dead cat on his head. The thing that bothered me about we're in the midst of this pandemic, and when I saw Amy Coney Barrett without a mask, I'm like, what message are you sending people?
Yeah. And her husband, pick up on her husband. He was kind of giving this weird look. He didn't look happy about this. What were you, any hit on him?
I don't think he's happy about it at all.
Okay.
I think he preferred that she didn't do it. But, I was wondering when I heard Pope Francis come out and actually endorse civil unions for gay people, because he said, we desire a family too. And, Amy Coney Barrett claims to be so Catholic, and I'm thinking, wonder if anybody told her about the Pope's decision and see what she says about that.
Right. Well, a lot of conservative, they love the Pope until they say something they don't want to hear.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I was like, yes.
Right. But they wouldn't let even gay teachers work at their school.
I know. I mean, it's amazing that came out like after she was confirmed. I'm like, hello?
Well, her little speech, what I tried not to watch, but they repeated it. I accidentally heard it. And she said, I have my opinions and I have my faith, but in the court, I cannot go in that direction. I have to go with the Constitution.
Well, I heard what she said, and I was trying not to toss my lunch, but we shall see. Linda, I keep
turn out to be okay. She's the reason why that whole SCOTUS is going to get literally blown up.
Oh yeah.
She's part of the reason that they're just going to turn that around. So what did Mitch McConnell say? He knows that the Democrats are, does he know they're going to come in and pack the court?
Basically what he said was that everything they had done over these 4 years, I'm just paraphrasing what he said, is going to be undone. But by putting Amy Coney Barrett on the court, that's something that can't be undone for a long time with the court. But, you know, it's like I heard Elizabeth Warren, and I agree with her, that, and even Nancy Pelosi, you know, this is no holds barred now. The Trumpsters can't say a word, especially Mitch McConnell, because, you know, it was the ultimate hypocrisy. Well, during an election year, we can't put somebody on the court, but yet
the rule they made up.
Exactly.
They're all made up rules. So guess what? We're going to make up some rules too.
Well, when the Democrats take over and put more justices on the court, they're going to scream foul play. Well, you know what? They're going to look like complete idiots. Well, they are complete idiots.
And you know, I see Biden not doing like progressive type of energy. More people who have that background, like the first one that Obama wanted in, and they wouldn't. Merrick Garland.
Oh, Merrick Garland, yeah.
He may get it.
I think what Biden would do is probably put more moderates on the court, so at least it's more balanced.
Yeah.
And so, but you know, they're still going to scream foul play. I'm just curious, what are you thinking that once Trump is out of office, do you think he'll shut his mouth? I already know the answer to that, but.
Well, no, what'll happen is Twitter will have to remove him because he's going to try to create violence. There's going to be a lot of civil unrest. And then they're going to remove him so he doesn't have that back. And you already heard Jared say he's going to get his own platform, his own streaming platform. But Jared's going to jail, so I don't know when he is going to have time for that.
He is going to jail.
Yeah.
But I still thought about Trump, you know, once he's out of office, kind of starting this whole conspiracy stuff like he did with Obama, the whole birther thing, and he's going to try to start some more crap. I just don't think he's going to get the media attention anymore.
You know what I heard just now when you were talking? And it's my main guy because it was a male voice. It's interesting that the comment he made, but he said most people won't be able to stand the smell in the room.
Good.
So intelligent, smart political people. He's a has-been. He's
done.
He's going to act out so badly and say such crazy things. Why do you think Barr is hiding? He's acting out and saying, he just was at one of those rallies saying, we got to arrest Hillary Clinton.
Oh, I know. I mean, or, you know, kind of resurrect this whole Biden investigation, which was really, as you say, a nothing burger, you know?
It's absolutely not. And so is the intel. The intel saying, and you know what happened with the Durham investigation? You know, he's already told Barr and quit pushing me. That's what I heard. Quit pushing me.
Exactly. You know, I think, you know, even after this election, you don't have to worry about not doing your show anymore because there's going to be so much fodder with everything coming out that Trump has done. Oh my God, that could fill a volume for another 4 years.
Right. But his KKK group, they'll create chaos.
Oh,
not
of course.
Necessarily in Illinois, more towards. Did you hear there was rioting in Beverly Hills last night?
No.
My friend wrote me and said they're closing Rodeo Drive. What?
Wow. Well, you know, I had predicted there would be a lot of, not to see riots, but a lot of people protesting in the streets. And I said, just like it would be in the late 60s and early 70s. And here we are. But you know, my guides told me that with a lot of those peaceful protests like Black Lives Matter, I think the ultra-right brought in agitators to get things stirred up.
They proved it too.
Exactly.
And the ones that were starting the fires, one was a cop.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so they did that to make the Democrats or to the progressive whatever look bad.
Oh, right. And we're going to protect you, that.
Right, right.
I think about something, it's going to come out too. I think that that Trump gave secrets to Putin. That's going to come out.
Oh, yes. That's that good. I'm telling you, two. I saw two. I doubt if it's 2 months. It's probably going to be 2 years. Well, they'll be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, whether Trump's alive or not, that he was a traitor to the United States of America. And in turn,
yes.
they will remove him, because I had a flash yesterday in all this drama about that Amy Coney Barrett. And let me tell you what it was. I'll just brief it. When I was talking psychically to my higher self, I said, so does she change the court? Does she forever, because of her, are we? And I heard him say as clear as day, no. Right. And I got a flash of her sobbing, gathering up her things. Like she just gets in and now you got to go. Right. I also want you to know, I talked to another psychic last night who's a friend. Her and I were just chit-chatting. We both pick up something with the female. So something will come up, ovarian something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to, I don't want to say for sure, because your cards are so bad. It was bad.
Well, now that you brought it up, when I just got a flash, I saw bright red, like this color red. And whenever I see that, it could mean like a Cancer-like vibration. And, I crossed myself because I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I certainly don't wish it on her.
Well, I kind of was trying to look at her when she turned the sound off. I wanted to see if her belly, one of the first signs of ovarian cancer is you get a pooch belly. You get like, all of a sudden you don't understand why your belly's big.
Oh my God, I better go to the doctor. I got a pooch belly. I wonder if I got ovarian cancer.
But I didn't see that with her, so I don't know. But look at her skin color and stuff. She doesn't look all that healthy. So we're not wishing that. Let's just throw that out.
No, I don't wish that on anybody.
I also saw, what's his name, being very sick. And people say it all the time. He's gray as hell. Barr.
Oh yeah, Barr. I thought about him before, and I was like, I saw like dark clouds all around him. Whenever spirit shows me that, that's clearly illness. Absolutely.
So I don't know. Anyway, so then I saw, and now Trump's talking trash about Barr. Anyway, I saw her crying, gathering her things like off her desk. And then I saw Kavanaugh still wearing the black robe, but he's walking out of the courthouse and he's beet red and he's furious. And they're telling him, go.
I think they're either going to give him a choice, either resign or go through all of this for lying to Congress.
So then, in that moment, my guide said they will be big, because we've already heard something like this. I don't know, it was Rachel or who, but it surprised me that my guides brought it up. But there's going to be something to do with monies and the Supreme Court.
Oh, it's already coming out.
Yeah.
That dark money, it was that senator, I can't think of his name, that they had these big PACs, and one was funding the other one, and it was all to get things. What they did is they would take things to the state court and federal court and have them dismissed so they could get it to the Supreme Court, and how they put money behind getting these justices on the court. Oh yeah, that's going to be huge.
That's going to be huge. That's going to take out a lot of people. And especially Kavanaugh, because how do you think all those bills got paid for him?
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to get some behind the scenes stuff on Justice Kennedy. He might have been paid off.
Exactly. Well, my husband said to me, you know what, Mel, I think they paid him off to resign from the court so they could put somebody more conservative on the court.
And younger.
And
maybe I think to tell Thomas to go too. I'm surprised he hasn't left yet. I think he wants to stick it out.
Yeah, he will try to.
He'll wait till a Democrat's in and then he'll go, because he won't be able to stay. So anyway, That's what I saw. I saw Kavanaugh beet red, refusing to take off the robe, which is funny, but they're telling him go. So he goes, and then they said there's going to be so much chaos and drama. It's almost like we don't have a SCOTUS, but we're going to have to hustle to get people in there. And then I saw, The court will go back to the way it used to be. Finally.
Well, it just goes back to that vision that Ruth Bader Ginsburg gave me right after she died about that dark, poisonous creature hand touching everything. And
Right.
now it's pretty obvious even tainted the court. But she showed me the light, and that light pushed back that dark, and
It pushed
the
back
white light got bigger and
exactly.
bigger. So,
Oh, the other thing is they showed me, they said the man who thought he was king is not king, which is Trump. And
right.
they showed someone overturning all this paperwork, throwing it on this, just like I just saw these hands throwing all this paperwork. And in that moment that I saw that, they said, anything this man touched will be reversed. It's like you pick up something and you turn it upside down.
Could that overthrowing the king also be Mitch McConnell? Because Moscow Mitch, thinks he's a king as well.
Exactly. Well, they said the man who thought he was king. But the thing is that what's going to happen is they're going to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And I think this will go through the Supreme Court when the good Supreme Court's in, that Trump was not, in fact, a president. He was a traitor. And then everything Trump touched will be reversed, including all those people he threw in there that didn't even have the qualifications. Or Mitch McConnell did under the guise of king, under the guise of this king. Everything's going to be reversed. And then here's the other deal. They left, Mel. They left, went on their holiday, and and there's no checks, no nothing.
No, nothing. No, nothing. It's now that we got what we want, now screw everybody else, because look, I think Mitch McConnell, though, I still see an investigation. And if it goes to the Supreme Court, as you call it, the good court, that's going to be our new term for it. When it goes to the good court, my feeling is you're going to say what he did was unconstitutional by not allowing them to bring, but not allowing to bring the nomination of Merrick Garland to the Senate floor.
Wow.
And so I just got to ask some lawyer friends of mine, what is the repercussions of that? Does that mean then that Gorsuch is off the court? Does it mean, I don't know, but it was clearly unconstitutional.
Right.
And the court will say it was.
Yeah, they're gonna, those three that Trump brought in is so funny because I didn't even think about that till Rachel Maddow mentioned his fat, ugly face had to be standing there. He made it about him, those three people. And all three. I never saw Neil Gorsuch, but he could very possibly go too.
I was just curious what would happen if they say that what McConnell did was unconstitutional. Then what happened to that nomination?
Remember what Biden said he's going to do. He's going to hire some experts, some real brains that are who are legal and experts at the Constitution to review the SCOTUS. They may in fact do the review and say, first of all, this guy shouldn't even be in here. Second of all, this guy lied to Congress, so he needs to be taken out. She did too. She lied.
Oh, of course she lied.
Yeah.
Of course she did. And her line was, if you say I don't recall, that's not really a lie. No. But she clearly lied.
Al Franken showed the video of her when he was interviewing for her for some seat. And she said one thing, and then now with the judicial, she said something else. So that's a lie. She lied to Congress.
It's funny. I think that people are still calling me saying, they're nervous about the election. Is Biden going to win? Every day. And I'm telling people, vote, vote, vote.
I think it's going to be even a little bit more breathtaking than we know. It's not going to be, oh, dear God, please. It's almost like, holy crap. It's going to be because millions of people have voted. And trust me, most of those people aren't Trumpsters.
Exactly. I think, the thing that's going to keep most people on the edge of their seat is because we're not going to have the clear results on election night. I think we'll have a good picture of it.
I think we're going to take Florida right off.
I'm sorry?
We're going to take Florida. We're going to take Florida. I think we're going to take Texas too. We may take Georgia.
If anybody would have told me, myself included, other than you, Linda, like, 6 or 7 months ago that Biden would take Texas, I would be, are you out of your mind?
Right. You know who told me that? She said, when I was looking, I'm thinking, because my card said that he would win Texas. So I marked it on my sheet that I gave everybody. I gave everybody my prediction on my community page on my YouTube. And I thought, wow, really? He's going to take Texas? You know who I saw? Ann Richards.
Oh, wow.
She was standing there as big as day with that big blonde hair.
I met her once. And she was a great lady. And I think the story was in Texas was that some politician that was running refused to shake her hand, and it made him look so bad. That's how she won the governorship.
No.
Yep. She was a phenomenal.
She was a go-getter, right? She said her piece.
Oh my God.
Smoke?
Yes, I think she died of throat cancer.
She had a cigarette, and when I said Texas, she said, "Oh yeah, it's about time." And then she took the drag.
And you know what, Linda, you've got her mannerisms almost to the T, because that's exactly how she was. She had this rough kind of voice, but not your voice is rough, but the mannerisms you had were like that. That was so her.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh yeah, and it's about time." She would say what she thought.
Oh yeah, totally.
A lot of people didn't like her.
I liked her, and then I met her, and then I was in the airport in Austin once, and I saw her there, and I said, I don't know if you remember me, of course. And she goes, of course I do. And we got a nice conversation. And
how did she remember you? Did you read for
her? No, but I was going out with someone in Texas at the time, God forbid.
You went out with a cowboy?
Well, yeah, right. That's about all I can say. Unfortunately, his lasso wasn't that big, but
my favorite part.
I said lasso.
My favorite part in that John Travolta, Deborah Winger movie, Urban Cowboy, was when she went to the uncle's funeral, and she went up there, and John Travolta comes out with that classy woman that was holding his arm tightly, and she said, "How are you? Are you happy?" And he said, "Yeah, well, I got me a real woman." She said, "Yeah, I got me a real cowboy." Deborah Winger did that. I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
Anyway, I met her through him. And then I also did something. I was invited to speak at the Governor's Conference on Aging in Texas. And, I'm talking about intuition in Houston. This is about 15 or 20 years ago. And, in the heart of the Bible Belt. But I just rearranged, I took metaphysical speak and just made it mainstream.
Right.
And everybody loved it. And I called him Governor Goodhair, Governor Perry.
Oh, yeah. Is he still around?
I don't know what he's doing now.
He's some scandal too.
Oh yeah, total.
But okay, Armageddon a little bit when Trump has that little bit of part. I do see them saying to him, "This is nothing. I'm sorry, sir. You have to go." I do see him leaving before the inauguration. But do you see him pardoning a bunch of people or getting Pence to pardon him or?
Well, if he's gone before the inauguration, he's still president, so he can't really. The only way Pence could do that would be if Pence were president.
Right.
But I do think that Trump is going to just issue a bunch of pardons before he leaves. The other thing is people might say he'll pardon himself, but here's the deal. I talked to a lawyer friend of mine about it, who's a federal lawyer, and he said, well, he can try that, but you can't pardon yourself for something you haven't yet been accused of. So
okay. And he can't pardon himself for the state like SDNY.
No.
Did you hear the good news? The judge said that Trump, not the DOJ, Trump has to appear before the court for that woman who's getting him on slander for saying that he never even met her.
Oh, good. Yay.
But,
Well, he'll lie about that.
they're adults petition the Supreme Court. You watch.
Oh, of course they will.
Yeah.
But he'll still have to show up.
What I
but
saw
no,
Trump doing is getting furious. That's his DOJ. That's his Supreme Court. And I think
right.
he'll be shocked at the things that don't go his way. I feel
Oh,
like,
yeah.
how could you guys do this? You guys should have protected me, but that's not what they're there for. And he's already announced when he wins again, he's getting rid of the FBI head. He's doing this because they weren't loyal to me. That's not how it works, buddy.
His orange skin is becoming red now because of the rage. Oh my God, he looked like, I think I texted you, he looked like he started tearing himself for himself.
Oh my God.
But, he can't, no, the president, he cannot pardon anything from the state because he can only pardon federal stuff. Okay. So if he's charged, I think the state of New York is going to charge Donald Trump. I know they will. And so he can't pardon.
I can see the subpoenas. I see boom, 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 boom.
Oh, it's going to be.
But they're also going to figure out that he was a traitor to our country.
I think once the Dems take over, they're going to pull the Mueller report off the back burner. But I think they're going to have a special prosecutor to expand that whole investigation. And oh yeah.
They're not going to announce it because they don't want a lot of drama, but they've got a lot of stuff planned.
Oh, they've got a lot.
Yeah. So did you get a hit on who might be the DOJ, the new DOJ? Is it Sally Yates?
I was thinking Sally Yates would be amazing. I've got a funny feeling he will put a woman in that position. The only thing is, if he's going to call a lot of senators to fill cabinet posts, got to be careful because you still want them to be in the Senate so that we can still have the.
He'll be very careful about that. He'll be very careful about that.
But it's funny. I'm only seeing Biden as a one-term president. I don't know why.
Me too. Not necessarily that he's going to die.
No.
He's just exhausted or his health is a little bit. Because even I know people in their 80s that are in better shape than me. Look at you, for instance.
Thanks. Well, but you're only a year younger than I am.
Oh, really? So then I'm in good shape. No, but I see people in their 80s that are smart. Except Dianne Feinstein. I love her.
Oh, but she's kind of losing.
She's getting too old.
Yeah, I mean, she's older than a bag of dirt already.
God, I will never forget her. She never changed her haircut in all those years.
Oh my God, she's got that that
you
kind of.
You see her with that shock look. Wasn't that terrible when Harvey Milk and mayor died? And I'll never forget that shock look. And everybody was so upset. And her hair is exactly the same as it is today.
Oh, it looks like it was sprayed on with gunite. It doesn't move. Just stick there.
But she's anytime I needed something, she answered me. She was so good. You know who else was really kind to me? Was Hillary Clinton. That's why Hillary Clinton, when she was with Bill Clinton, I used to write. She used to answer me back.
I have a letter from the Clintons, actually, so it was kind of cool. I'll tell you who was not. I met her at an Aretha Franklin concert years ago, and it was Michelle Obama. It was before Barack. I don't even know if he was senator at the time. And I was with my cousin. I said, her husband is going to be, no, he was a senator at the time. I said to her, but this is before he was even talking about president. I said, her husband's going to be president.
Whoa.
So after the concert, we kind of, it was for charity. So we kind of got to shake hands. And I remember shaking her hand and I said, my name's Mel Dorr and I'm a psychic. And she kind of looked at me like, what? I said, but your husband is going to be president one day. And she graciously said, oh, I hope you're right. And so she was wonderful.
And she thought, get this white job out of here.
Yeah, right. He's like, who is this crazy man who didn't take his Prozac today?
So is there anything your guides want us to know? Is there anything we should look at? Well,
let's talk about the fear of this whole election thing. And, you know, a lot of times fear can stand in front of us and hold us back, but I say let it get behind us and push us forward. So I just want to assure people that I am still intuiting, my guides tell me that Biden's going to win, but go vote. All right. Biden is going to win. And good. The other thing is with COVID, I've been asking my guides, when is it going to be over?
Thank you.
And they're telling me probably by next summer. Okay. It's going to be a while before a vaccine comes out. That would only be about 40 or 50% effective. But we're going to start to see an ease up of it by next summer. And then they told me to read about the Spanish flu of 1918, which I did. And it's almost like parallel. It hit, it was really bad. People social distance did that. It went away and then it came back, just like COVID is doing now.
Right.
But within a year, it had, you know, then it becomes endemic. It just means it's kind of there, but, you know, they later call it
like wildfire now.
Exactly. So, you know, isn't it amazing how this little virus, so tiny, brought a whole president down?
That's the end. And let me tell you something else. My prediction on the virus is not yours, but we agree to disagree. I see more towards the beginning of next year, January, February. I see a vaccine. I see it as clear. Well, but maybe maybe everybody will be introduced to it and everything by the summer.
Well, I see a vaccine, but I don't know if it's then, but I think it's only going to be about 40 or 50% effective because they have to learn what viral particles.
Oh, maybe that's it. Because I saw like it's definitely not going to be like it is now. It helps kind of relieve. And if you've had COVID, you know, you don't tend to get sick anyway.
Well, I think the thing is there's different strains of the virus. I think that's why when some people get it, it's milder, and other people get it, it's a different strain. It makes them more ill. So they have to kind of predict which one of those strains to put in the vaccine. And I don't even know if they know that yet. Right. But you know, I will pray that your prediction is right, because you know, next summer is like, I keep thinking of that. I'm like, oh man, let me jump off a building. Not that I would.
Right. But I think masks and everything is going to be the norm. I just feel something as simple as doing a mask and maintaining your distance. But yeah.
Isn't it amazing how
and as soon as the Bidens come in, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to get a thing of something to help everybody. They're going to throw money into the United States of America. We're going to get another check. They're going to help with the unemployment. They're really going to make sure everybody's okay. Because another thing that really is hurting Trump as of now, and I noticed this on Twitter, when the president announced, well, I'm not going to do, what do they call it, the program again?
Oh, I can't think of it. I know what you're talking. Senior moment. I know what it is.
I know, me too. Anyway, we're not.
I'm having an 80 moment, Linda.
Okay, it's anyway. It was to help everybody out. Now we'll do that after the election.
The stimulus package, whatever it was.
Stimulus. Oh, yeah. Listen, when he loses, he's not going to do it either.
No.
He's going to say, hell with you guys. You didn't vote for me.
Don't you find it amazing that they could work on a Sunday to push through a nomination for the Supreme Court, but yet they weren't willing to put the time in to get a stimulus package out for the people who've lost their jobs?
Part of the reason this man's going to get gutted. Because people are like, wait a second. Because 70% of Americans say they're not for him picking a new judge. Work on the stimulus package. And on Twitter, a lot of guys that were writing underneath when the president said, I'm going to wait until the vote, then I'll work on a stimulus. And a lot of Republicans were saying, one guy said, sir, I was going to vote for you, but now I'm not.
I guess what my guides are telling people is hang in there. I mean, at some point there will be a stimulus package, but I think that once the Dems take over, there'll be another one. that'll really help a lot of people. And I also think what they're going to do is extend unemployment benefits. Yay. The other thing I think they're going to do is make it easier for a lot of small businesses who are really suffering
Really
to get
something.
loans at like really low interest. And maybe they don't even have to pay them back if they agree to
But
do.
here's the deal. It won't be loans that help. What's it? Mitch McConnell's wife got a loan. Munchkin got a loan. Kelly, the Barbie doll, she got a loan for her parents. Why?
No, these are going to be for people who, like you and I, small business owners and people, there's over 100,000 businesses that have closed because of COVID. So I think it's going to be a stimulus package to give to these small businesses to keep them afloat. And I think they'll say, if you maybe like hire one or more person and you do X amount of things, then you don't have to pay it back.
There you go.
And so, you know, I see a huge stimulus bill coming through that way.
That's what I'm
and it's not coming from the
and then
Republican.
he'll start the thing called, what I've been saying for years now when I saw Biden winning, is that he'll start the New Deal.
Absolutely.
A New Deal. It's going to be, it's not going to be socialism. It's going to help people get back to work. It's working jobs, it's infrastructure. It's going to be huge.
That's what I have predicted. It's going to be something more like the Civilian Conservation Corps during the Depression, when they might hire construction companies or contract them to put people to work. You're right, to build bridges, roads, infrastructure.
Right.
The other thing we see coming is going to be huge changes in the computer systems for federal voting. A lot of reform, a lot of election reform coming that's positive. A lot of Supreme Court reform coming that's going to be positive.
What about the Electoral College? Are they going to get rid of that?
Ultimately they will. I don't know if they'll do it within the next 4 years. I think you have to have like 2/3 of Congress to ratify the Constitution,
Yeah.
So that's probably, I'm probably talking out of school, but I think that's what it would take. But if anybody out there says I'm wrong, let me know and I'll just stand corrected.
Right.
But at some point, I do see, we'll see it in our lifetime, direct election of the president. So the Electoral College will be gone, because right now it's archaic. It's just more actually the idea of going through the motion rather than anything else.
Right.
But I think, Trump will try to screw with that. But so we're going to see a lot more reforms in good ways coming. Even if they do try to overturn the Affordable Care Act.
I was going to ask you that. Are they actually going to just get rid of it?
Well, if they do, okay, it will not be for long, because what I see happening is with more justices coming on the court, and then at some point somebody will file a lawsuit and get it to the court, and the court's going to say, wait a minute, pre-existing conditions is really discriminatory. You can't discriminate against someone for insurance purposes because they have an illness. And so, I think what they won't enforce is the individual mandate that everybody has to have it. But I think what Biden will do is give people a choice. You can either get it through Medicare and have a system that, insurance that way, or get it privately. And so that way, then it kind of,
well, they make people
it gives everybody
insurance. The drivers have insurance. Why can't you have insurance for your health?
Exactly. And I think at some point, they'll try to reinforce that mandate, but I think that Biden will get a way around it, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
So there's a loophole, and that everybody will have affordable healthcare insurance.
Can Biden put out as president an executive order to help people, though, if they try to strip that? Can he say they're going to, because we've had a president didn't listen to SCOTUS.
Yeah, exactly. But I think what would happen is if they do away with it, then at some point, some people will file suit and get it all the way up really quickly to the Supreme Court with the new justices. They'll say, wait a minute, you cannot discriminate.
They do that.
Oh, they don't care. They just want to grease the pockets of the insurance companies and of the
But will the
pharmaceutical
insurance
companies.
companies maybe say, no, we're not going to do this? It's inhuman. Could they possibly step up to the plate?
I think they will. And there's another thing that's coming out, with the whole green movement and, the whole thing about fracking and fossil fuels. Did you notice that Ford came out and Chevy came out with battery powered pickup trucks?
Nice.
Just now. And so I think they're doing it to try to put Tesla out of business. But the bottom line is they know people are catching on and they know that they're going to look like doo-doo. And I think it's going to be the same with some insurance companies
like
too.
If,
So
if the country will be in such a tizzy, they might take it even to the voters. They might take it to the voters.
They will. And at some point, so if they do away with the Affordable Care Act, the only thing is Trump and the Republicans don't have anything to replace it with. They've been yapping about that for 4 years. And so with more justices that I see coming on the court, all they have to do is have some people file a lawsuit that, if they start saying pre-existing is coming back and just say it's discriminatory and get it to the Supreme Court.
And but can you get new justices in that fast before people start dying?
Well, unfortunately, no, but look how fast they did it with Amy Coney Barrett.
Yeah.
I mean, they can probably do it pretty quickly.
Right.
But I don't think they're going to say that the whole thing is unconstitutional because it was before the Supreme Court before, and they upheld the Affordable Care Act, certain parts of it. And I think they'll continue to uphold certain parts of it.
Okay. All right, my friend.
I'm more concerned about. Well,
also remember, here's the other thing you guys to remember, that the voting will have already taken place. And if Biden wins by a landslide, you don't think that's in the minds of SCOTUS? Let's get rid of pre-existing conditions when we've got this landslide Democrats taking over.
Well, the Dems, I think, are going to my feeling is they'll take over the Senate. My feeling is they'll hold the House, and
they will,
and then we'll have the presidency. God forbid, and I'm not religious, but I'm crossing myself to keep away any kind of Trump vibes.
Right.
God forbid, say Trump did become president again, but if the Democrats take over the Senate, then his wings are clipped.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be the case.
Yeah. All right, my friend. Thank you so
Linda,
much.
It is always a pleasure. I love doing this. We got to do it again.
We got to do it again after the voting. Let's do it again.
Oh yeah, then we can sit back and buckle our seatbelts and watch the doo-doo show. All right, my friend.
You see that tail wagging? That's Jack.
I see that waggledy tail.
Yeah. Okay, sweetie. You take care. I love you.
Bye. Love you too. Bye.